Shalom Alechem Malachei Hasharet Malchei 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 Elyon Mimelech Malchei Amlachim Hakadosh Baruch Hu Hakadosh Baruch Hu Boachem Shalom Malachei HaShalom Malchei Elyon Mimelech Malchei Amlachim Hakadosh Baruch Hu Hakadosh Baruch Hu Boachem Shalom Malachei HaShalom Malchei Elyon Mimelech Malchei Amlachim Hakadosh Baruch Hu Hakadosh Baruch Hu Barchuni L'Shalom Malachei HaShalom Malchei Elyon Mimelech Malchei Amlachim Hakadosh Baruch Hu Hakadosh Baruch Hu Yadadai Yadadai Dai 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 Yai Dai 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 Yai Dai Dai Yadadai Dai Yai Dai 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 Yai Dai 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 Seidchem L'Shalom Malachei HaShalom Malchei Elyon Mimelech Malchei Amlachim Hakadosh Baruch Hu Hakadosh Baruch Hu Yadadai Dai 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 Yai Dai 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 Yai Dai Dai Yadadai Dai Yai Dai 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 Yai Dai 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 Dai.
We're going to turn back in our books to pages 2 and 3. Invite everybody who can comfortably do so to rise. And let's read together at the top of page 3, and then we will join in the blessing over our Shabbat lights. As these Shabbat candles give light to all who behold them, so may we by our lives give light to all who behold us, as their brightness reminds us of the generations of Israel who have kindled light. So may we, in our own day, be among those who kindle light.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat.
You may be seated. We turn to pages 20 and 21. And as is our custom, we take a moment to reflect on the week that has passed. Go back to last Shabbat to pause briefly on each day, its challenges and its blessings. And then we'll come back together for Lecha Dodi, Hazarat HaShavua, review of the week. Take a deep breath. Shabbat renews the soul. We'll sing together verses 1, 2, 5, and 9. When we get to verse 9, I'll invite those in the congregation to rise and face the doors from which we entered to welcome the Shabbat presence, the Neshama Yetera, the extra soulfulness that travels with us during Shabbat, into the congregation and into our hearts. For those of you at home, I invite you to turn towards the doorways of your home and welcome Shabbat into your home. Lecha Dodi.
La 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 lecha dodi. La 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 likrat kala. La 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 penei Shabbat. Penei Shabbat tekabe. La 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 lecha dodi. La 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 likrat kala. Ya la 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 penei Shabbat. Penei Shabbat Nikabela Shabbat Mizachor B'dibur Echad Ishbianu El Hamyukad Adonai Echad Ushmo Echad L'Shemu Tiferet V'Litchila Ya la la Ya la 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 Lecha Dodi Ya la 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 Likrat Kala Ya la 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 Penei Shabbat Penei Shabbat Nikabela Likrat Shabbat Lechu v'nelcha Ki mekor habracha Merosh b'kadem Nesucha Sof ma'aseh b'machsheva Tequila, ya la la, ya la 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 la, lecha dodi, ya la 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 la, lekrat kala, ya la 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 la, penei Shabbat, penei Shabbat, nikabela, hitoreri. Hitoreri Kiva ore Kumi ori Uri uri Shiraferi Kevod Adonai Alayek Tigla Ya la la ya la 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 lecha dodi ya la 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 likrat kala ya la 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 penei Shabbat penei Shabbat nikabela Boi v'shalom ateret pala Kam besimcha ubsolam toch emunei am segulam boi chala ya la la ya la 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 lecha dodi Ya la 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 likrat kala Ya la 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 penei Shabbat Penei Shabbat Nikabela
Continue on page 26. with Chatzi Kaddish.
Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah.
Amen.
Ve'alma divrach cherutei v'yamlich malchutei. V'chayechon u'vyom echon u'chayei dechol beit Yisrael. Bagala Ubizman Kariv Veimeru Amen Yehei Shemei Rabam Mivara Le'elam Ulamei Almaya Yitbarach V'yishtabach V'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnasei V'yithadar v'yitaleh v'yithalal Shemei dekudesha b'richu Le'elam min kol birchata v'shirata Tushbechata v'nechemata Da'amiran be'alma V'yimeru Amen.
Baruch Hu, our call to prayer, page 28.
Lai la 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 la. Yai la 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 la. Yai la 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 la. Yai la 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 la. Yai la 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 la. Yai la 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 la. Yai la 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 la. Lai la 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 la. Baruch Hu et Adonai Hamevorach. Baruch Adonai Hamevorach, Hamevorach Leolam Vaed. Hamevorach, Hamevorach Leolam Vaed.
Last three lines in the Hebrew on page 30, El Chai V'Kayam.
El Chai V'Kayam Tamidim L'Chaleinu Le'Olam Vaed Baruch Atah Adonai
Baruch Shemo.
Amariv Aravi.
Amen. Page 32. Everlasting love, you offered your people Israel by teaching us Torah and mitzvot, laws and precepts. Therefore, Adonai our God, when we lie down and when we rise up, we will meditate on your laws and your commandments. We will rejoice in your Torah forever. Day and night we will reflect on them, for they are our life, and doing them lengthens our days. Never remove your love from us. Praise to you, Adonai, who loves your people, Israel.
Ki haim chayenu ve'orech yameinu uvahem negeyomam v'layla negeyomam v'layla Ki haim chayenu ve'orech yameinu uvahem negeyomam v'layla negeyomam v'layla ve'ahavadecha atasir mimenu le'olamim Baruch Atah Adonai U'imamo Yisrael.
Amen. Page 34 and 35, Shema Yisrael.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. 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 Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto, Leolam Va'ed. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto, Leolam Va'ed. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad.
You may be seated. We continue chanting with the chanting of Ve'ahavta on page 36.
Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavcha u'b'chol nafshecha u'b'chol meodecha v'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavecha hayom al levavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam v'shivtecha b'veitecha uv'lechtecha b'derech uv'shochbecha uv'kumecha uv'kshartam le'ot al yadecha v'hayu letorafot bein einecha uv'chtaftam al mezuzot beitecha uvisharecha leman tizkeru v'asitem et kol mitzvotai v'tem kedoshim le'elohechem ani Adonai Elohechem asher hotzeiti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim liot lachem l'Elohim Ani Adonai Elohechem, Adonai Elohechem, Amen.
So in a moment, we'll turn to page 40 for Mi Chamocha. Pesach is upon us. It may feel more or less that we're still in slavery, depending on whether you're cooking for Pesach or not, and how that plays in your own life. So I'll talk a little bit more about Pesach in a little while, but we tell this story of leaving Egypt and eventually when we sing Dayenu, we talk about if we'd only come to Sinai and if we'd only gotten Shabbat, and if we'd only come to the land of Israel, have all of these things. We kind of have our story. And Pesach's like our intensive, right? It's the time that we really focus on this story. But our tradition reminds us that actually the story is a part of everything all the time. This is a master story of the Jewish people. Twice a day in prayer, Mi Chamocha is part of our morning and our evening service. And we also come out of Egypt. And as I've mentioned many times before, our Shabbat Kiddush also reminds us of Zecher Letziat Mitzrayim, the remembrance of the Exodus from Egypt. So as we sing Mi Chamocha today, it is a little bit of a foretaste, because over the next number of days, we are going to, Pesach night is actually the night of preparation, traditionally. And then, we move out through Egypt and we cross through the sea on the seventh day of Pesach. So we have this piece as we move forward. So here we go.
And we'll use a little bit of a Pesach melody to get in the mood, okay? Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha nedar b'kodesh, norah tehilot osefelen. Malechutecha ra'u banecha, bokei ayam lipnei Moshe u'Miriam, ze Eli anu ve'amru Adonai imloch le'olam va'ed, Adonai imloch le'olam va'ed, Adonai imloch le'olam va'ed. V'ne'emar kifad Adonai et Yaakov ugalo miyad chazak mimenu. Baruch atah Adonai Gal Yisrael.
Amen. Page 42. Grant, O God, that we lie down in peace. You can join me. Grant, O God, that we lie down in peace and raise us up, our guardian, to life renewed. Spread over us the shelter of your peace. Guide us with your good counsel for your name's sake. Be our help. Shield and shelter us beneath the shadow of your wings. Defend us against enemies, illness, war, famine, and sorrow. Distance us from wrongdoing. For you, God, watch over us and deliver us. For you, God, are gracious and merciful. Guard our going and coming to life and to peace evermore. Blessed are you, Adonai, guardian of Israel, whose shelter of peace is spread over us, over all your people Israel, and over Jerusalem.
Ufros aleinu sukkot, sukkot, shlomecha. Ufros aleinu sukkot, sukkot, shlomecha. Yalai lalai, 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 yalai lalai. Ufros aleinu sukkot, sukkot, shlomecha. Baruch atah Adonai Aporei Sukkat Shalom Aleinu, Sukkat Shalom Aleinu, Ve'al Kol Amo Yisrael, Ve'al Yerushalayim.
We give thanks for Shabbat, for the opportunity it gives us each week to pause, to renew, to connect. I haven't been here with you the last 2 weeks, so it's nice to be here with you on this Shabbat. And we join in singing Vishamru, page 44.
Vishamru b'nei Yisrael et HaShabbat, Lasod et HaShabbat, Ledorotam b'Brit Olam. Beinti u'bnei Israel, oti leolam, oti leolam, oti leolam. V'shamru b'nei Yisrael et HaShabbat, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ, ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. וביום השביעי שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם.
I'll invite those who can comfortably do so to rise. We turn to page 46 as we begin our Amidah.
Oh, Shah, oh, Shah, oh, Shah, oh, Shah, Adonai, Sefatai Tivta, Ufi Yagid, Tehilatecha, Adonai, open up my lips, that my mouth may declare your praise.
Page 48.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu, Elohei Avoteinu Imotenu, Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el HaGadol, HaGibor v'Hanorah, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, V'konei Hakol, V'zocher Chasdei Avot V'imahot, U'mevii Geula Livnei Vneihem, L'ma'an Shemo Yehavah, Melech Ozer U'Moshiach U'Magen. Baruch atah Adonai, Magid Avraham, Be'ezrat Sarah.
Page 50.
Atah Gibor Elam Adonai, Mechayei HaKol atah, Rav leHoshia, Mashiv HaRuach, U'morid HaGashem, Mechalkel Chaim Bechesed, Mechayei HaKol Berachamim Rabim, Somech Noflim Verofech Olim, Umatir Asurim, Umekayem Emunato, Bishenei Afar, Michamocha Bal Gevurot, Umidom Elad, Melech Remit, Umechayeh, Umatzliach Yeshua, V'ne'eman atah l'chayot hakol. Baruch atah Adonai, Mechayeh hakol.
Page 52. You are holy, your name is holy, and those who are holy praise you every day. Baruch atah Adonai,
Baruch Hu Baruch Shemo.
Ha'el HaKadosh.
Amen.
Please take a few moments for silent prayer, the words of your heart, or if you prefer, the words of the prayer book through page 62, 63. When you're through, you may be seated.
Grant peace to the world. May the Holy One of blessing shine a light of hope and healing to every corner of the earth. I'm on page 60, by the way. Grant peace to the world. Every hour and every season, turn our swords into plowshares, our hatred into love. Grant peace, grant peace. May the Holy One grant peace to the world. Grant peace, grant peace. May the Holy One grant peace to the world. Shalom, shalom Rav, Ali Yisrael Amcha, Ta'asim le'olam, Ta'asim le'olam, Ki ata Melech Adon, Lechol HaShalom, Lechol HaShalom. Grant peace, grant peace. May the Holy One grant peace to the world. Grant peace, grant peace. May the Holy One grant peace to the world. May the Holy One grant peace to the world. May the Holy One grant peace to the world. Baruch atah Adonai, Hamvarech et Amo Yisrael. Shalom.
We're in the second portion of the book of Leviticus. It's called Tzav, which just is a command. And talks about lots of things, and I'm not really going to talk about many of them because I'm going to talk mostly about Pesach. But I do want to start off by, it talks in 3 or 4 different verses about keeping the flame burning. It's an Eish Tamid, eternal fire, right? We have our Ner Tamid, the eternal light or candle. And it says, the wood on the altar shall be kept burning, not to go out. Every morning the priest shall feed wood into it. It's also used for sacrifice and other kinds of things. And I'm just thinking that the rabbis go on to say that the fire was always kept going, even when the Israelites were moving the camp from place to place. They had to keep the fire going. Even when, and it also says that every day the ashes had to be removed, but the fire had to be kept going, right? So this is a pretty, challenging process sometimes to keep that fire burning, right? And perhaps the fire's less about the tabernacle and the sacrifice and all of that, but it's really about us, right? It's about how do we keep the flame alive within us, even when it's under attack in lots of different ways around us. How do we keep that holy fire burning within us, even when we've got to clean out the ashes and we've got to move from place to place and we've got to do different things. And right, this has been the task of the Jewish people for our history, right? To keep the flame of holiness, the flame of Judaism alive, no matter what the circumstances were in our lives. Haggadah, right, means we think of it as the book that we use, but it really just means the telling. And the truth is, because we often have many different people at our Seders, we don't just have one Haggadah. I don't mean the book, because we might only have one Haggadah around the table, but we have Haggadot, we have multiple tellings, many stories sitting around the table. Perhaps the question should be, when we go through the Haggadah, is what is it that we are retelling? Is it the story of coming out of Egypt? Maybe it's a time for us to remember to continually share the story of our people, of our family, of those who came before us, with ourselves and with the younger generation, so that they too will hopefully come to realize, as we find Adam saying in Genesis chapter 2, that they are now bone of my bone and flesh of my flesh. There's a sense that much of Pesach is also about memory. And I don't just mean Yizkor on the seventh day, morning service when we have our memorial service on the seventh day. But it's about memory in so many ways. It's a holiday that takes place around a table. Often, for many of us, the same table, year after year after year, until maybe we can't be at that table anymore. That table doesn't exist. We've moved, or whoever hosted us is no longer there, and there's a new table. And who's sitting around that table? Who used to be sitting around that table? Who's new at the table, right? It's a picture of memory each week, each year when we gather around that table. I know that at my family's Pesach Seder, we take a moment at the beginning of our Seder to be grateful for all the people who are there and to remember the people who used to be there, who used to sit around our Seder table. Passover. So, Who passed over? Who passed over? There may be a few answers to this question. I think there's the obvious one. Right, so the obvious one is the angel of death. That I think is probably where we really get the name, right? That the angel of death, the Malach HaMavet, the angel of death passed over the houses of our people at the plague of the death of the firstborn. But we also pass over. We passed over or through the Red Sea. We passed over from slavery to freedom. When we passed over from slavery in Egypt, we had things of value that we took with us, right? The tradition, we talked about this a few weeks ago, but that the Egyptians became very generous and they gave us all their gold and silver and all those things. And then, and while we were in the wilderness, right, we read that we had to build the Mishkan, and we had all these things to build the Mishkan. We had them to build a calf too, but we won't talk about that right now. And we had the ark that we carried with us once we were at Sinai, right? So that's not till Shavuot, really, but we had that as part of our journey. And, what did we keep in the Aron that we carried through the desert? What did we keep? We carried the tablets of the Ten Commandments, and we carried the broken tablets that Moses broke the first time at the time of the calf. And we have an ark here, same name, right? Aron. It's just, by the way, it's also just the name for a closet in Hebrew. So your closet in your bedroom is also an Aron, and a casket is also an Aron. And so that's another interesting piece, because there was another Aron that they carried with them for all these years. Anybody know? What? Joseph, right? They carried Joseph's bones, right, with them. So you can kind of imagine, right, that they're carrying the Ark of the Covenant. That's sort of their new covenant that they've entered into. And they're also carrying a casket with them for 40 years through the desert. And you can imagine as they cross through the sea and they're singing and they're dancing and they're playing the instruments, it's also almost like a New Orleans funeral, right? They have Joseph's bones and maybe they have horn players and stuff like that. Like, who knows, right? But they're carrying his bones. And I think that's such an interesting piece here, because we have this idea that, like, we just entered into covenant, but we carry our history and our memory with us. Right? Joseph's bones represent where we came from, right? It represents the past, the history, the place that we're grounded from. And at some level, at that moment, Sinai represents the future, right? It represents moving into covenant and having a vision of where we're going. But I think it's fascinating that, the Aron and the Aron, they're carrying these different things. It says they took Joseph's bones with them, by the way. It doesn't later say they carry an Aron through the desert. That's the Midrash. The Midrash talks about them carrying this along, and they have the two Arons. The Torah just says they take Joseph's bones with them. In the Torah, maybe they stuck them in a backpack. I don't know, but the way that it plays out in the Midrash is they have two Arons, right, that they carry with them. So Joseph's bones. We, of course, remember also, because we have a memorial service on the seventh day of Pesach, and it's another place that we remember that we carry with us the bones of our ancestors, that we carry with us the souls of our ancestors, that we carry with us their stories, and that we make their story ours. That's really the story of Pesach at some level. Bechol dor vador, in every generation, chayav adam. It is incumbent upon a person, lirot et atzmo, to see themselves, see himself, herself, ke'ilu hu yatsa mitzrayim, as if they have personally come out of Egypt. Right? For me, that's both about reading us into the Pesach story, but it's also, if we want to widen that a little bit, it's about saying that we are, it's all these stories that that shape us, that form us, that read us into them. And we have stories of coming out of Egypt, and we have stories of our wanderings as a people, and we have stories of what it was like to be in Eastern Europe, or what it was like to be in Burma, or in Calcutta, or any of the Iraq. That's all just Simon's family. So that's lots of other places as well. All these other stories that the Jewish people bring together, right, in one place. And we carry them with us as if we came, in many ways, from these places. I think there's a power to think about what traditions do we continue that we learned from the telling of the stories that came before. I bet many of us have things at our seders that didn't begin with us. And I don't just mean what's in the book, but other things that may take place in those seders. Many of us know where our loved ones of past generations or two are buried. We know where their bones are. We know where the bones of our matriarchs and our patriarchs are buried, at least according to tradition. And many people go back to those places. Not that people are really there, but a symbolic place. It's just like carrying his bones. It's a place of memory. It's a place of being connected. So we're taught that we honor and sanctify the memories of our loved ones. And when we think of them, and when we visit their graves, and when we do a memorial, and when we recite Yizkor, but more importantly, we honor them when we make their story ours, right? When we take the values that were important to them and we carry them forward in our lives, when we carry their teachings with us, and when we continue to tell their stories. And so this Pesach, as we sit at the table, let each of us be let each of us be a Haggadah, a telling. Let each of us share the stories that shape us, that form us, that make us, that are the things that are most essential to who we are. And in doing so, as we move forward, we link our lives to our Pesach, but also to all those who have come before. Shabbat Shalom, Chag Pesach Sameach, everybody. We're going to turn to our prayer for healing on page 253, as we turn our thoughts to all of those in need of healing of body, of mind, of spirit.
Mishaverach Avotenu Mikor HaBracha Leimotenu. May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen.
We ask for blessings upon Hannah Fields Austin, Sue Tobak, Rosalind Lefkowitz, Helen Weinfeld, Pam Poliakoff, Kathy Blumenfeld, Caitlin Antrim, Brad Holland, Serena Postal, Robert Strober, Lori Snyder, Cherry DeRazaday, Gloria Foster, Robert Gerard, Adele Harris, Brenda Found Gerard, Jan Marcus, Al Shapiro, Robert Waldman, Udique Bratz DeLange, Deborah DeLange, James Stead, Stephen Gilbert, Bill Hughes, Ed Means, Virginia Guzman, Suzette Guzman, Marilyn Rudin, Sandy Gunn, Faye Bernstein, Sandra Dizengoff, John Foster, Ron Sokloff, Larry Muir, Susan Goldstein, Karen Nelson, Larry Gassner, Marsha Lloyd, Fred Rosenblum, Sharon Everett, Mark Kramer, Stacy Martin, Anthony Juarez, Ellen Sopkin, Jerry Feingold, Tim Nelson, Susan Smalls, James Morrison, Natalie Cruise, Joanne Cohen, Thad Nagy, Evan Olson, Sherry Mosley, and
Cantor Jonathan Grant. Ishabeirach imotenu ekor abracha labotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen. And let us say, Amen.
On behalf of your Board of Trustees, I am pleased to greet you with Shabbat Shalom and an early Chag Sameach. Our thanks go, as always, to Rabbi and Cantor for helping lead our service. In the absence of Randy tonight, we thank Chris Gacci on percussions for helping us keep time to our music. And we also thank Joaquim Grastelain for keeping us online for those of us who cannot join us tonight in the sanctuary. We thank also our greeters tonight who helped make this a warm and welcoming community. Esther Vogel, Joan Gerard, Kylie Sykes, and Sharon Regalado. Following tonight's service, please join us in the social hall for kiddush, motzi, and refreshments, and perhaps a chance to say hello to someone that you don't know. Couple of announcements of upcoming events. Our second Seder is Sunday night for those who have pre-registered. And then on Monday morning, we will have our Passover morning service at 10. Sunday morning, and then the following Saturday morning for Seventh Day. And also a couple more things. On Sunday, April 20th, Yom HaShoah commemoration at 4 p.m., the annual remembrance of the Holocaust, and an early alert that our Giving Tree launch starts in May. So be prepared to buy some leaves to come to a big event, gala event, on May 31st. Shabbat Shalom.
all right. Well, we have a couple of things to share. I keep losing this. This keeps coming out here, but first, if any of you here or at home have not yet voted in the World Zionist Congress election, then you should. There are cards in the lobby. It's in our Tekiah. There's information in our Tekiah to click through. There will be an email, a designated email coming up this week as well. It's really important. I can promise you that the ultra-Orthodox and the Orthodox and all those are all organizing to vote. And if liberal Jews don't also vote, then even the U.S. delegation doesn't look like the U.S. Jewish community, right? We're the largest movement in North America, Reform Judaism, and we should be the largest slate of votes in the North American part of the Congress, right? It represents each country votes separately. They all get different amounts of seats. So we should do that. It helps control money. It sends Israelis to our Reform Jewish summer camps so that our kids have opportunities to be there, and to liberal camps, not just Reform camps, liberal camps, and all those kinds of things. It helps support non-Orthodox Judaism in Israel. So vote if you haven't. If you've already voted and you'd like, anytime you come here, or if you want to wear it all the time, there are stickers on the table there that say, "I have voted in the Reform Zionist Congress election." So, and it still has a QR code on it, so you could wear it all the time, and people could say, "What is that?" You can say, "Hold up your phone and vote," right? So you can do that too. You are supposed to self-identify as being Jewish and be over 18 and be a U.S. resident of the United States and not have voted in the Knesset election. So for people who are Israeli, if they're here, if they didn't vote in the last Knesset election, they can vote. If they did vote in the last Knesset election, they can't, because they already are represented in the Congress through the Knesset. All right. Do you want to say something about Yom HaShoah?
I do.
All right.
So we have some special guests. Neil mentioned the program overall. David Spear and Kendra Toby Schwartz are going to be my primary musical guests. You may remember them from a few months ago when we performed Stars of David here. They were the musical director and one of the stars of David. But also, we're going to have the pleasure of the cello stylings of Mandi Gottesman. So Mandi is someone who came through our preschool, is right now 14 years old, but he and his twin brother will be becoming bar mitzvah later this summer. And Mandi has grown into a fantastic cellist. He performed recently as a cello soloist with the Claremont Symphony. And it's going to be a real treat to hear him share some of the music on this a week from Sunday. So just if you need a little bit of extra encouragement to come, not only just to remember the tragedies of the Shoah, but also to be inspired through Mandi and my other musical guests, please do so. Randy normally would be here, but Randy is just returning from his European trip the night before, so it's a little much to ask him to practice when he wasn't even going to be here. Also want to mention we have Tzedek Shabbat coming up on May 9th, focused on climate change. We've just confirmed our speaker will be Professor Dr. Nina Karnofsky from the colleges, a member of our congregation. So I just want to put that on everyone's radar as well for May 9th. And I also want to just say something briefly. We give appreciation to Marcus and Joachim and Sean, and before that, Claudia, all these people who have contributed to our community by making our services available to the wider world. I was very surprised to hear this afternoon when I had a funeral to officiate that the deceased had been living in Las Vegas, and his son, who lived with him in Las Vegas, mentioned how grateful they were because he's one of the silent shul goers, that for years he's been watching us online and staying connected that way. They were former congregants from when Rabbi Mandel was here, but they, they're not those people who go online and comment or do things like that, but they really appreciate it. So just a little shout out to the crew who makes that possible for us.
All right, we will move toward the conclusion of our service. We do encourage you to join us, anybody who can join us on Sunday morning again for first day of Pesach. It's a hearty group that comes and shows. And if you can't join us in person, but you want to join us, we are online as well. And we know who's there with us usually. And especially if you say Chag Sameach or something online, it's nice that you then become part of our community too if you can't be here in person. So join us in person, or if you can't do that online, we appreciate you being a part of that. We're going to turn now to page 282 in the middle of the page. Invite you to rise. Aleinu l'shabeach.
Aleinu l'shabeach ladon hakol, latekiru la'liotzer breshit, shelo asanu kigoye haratzot, velo samanu kemishpechot ha'adama, shelo sam chelkenu kahem, v'gor aleinu kechol hamonam. Anachnu korim umishtachavim umodim liftei malach malchei hamlachim hakadosh baruch hu.
Page 287.
V'ne'emar v'haya Adonai lemelech al kol haaretz bayom hahu yeh Adonai echad u'shemo echad.
You may be seated. Page 294. We take a moment to remember those who have been important in our lives, have left this earth, those who have died in recent days or at this time in years past. From our community, we remember the recent death of Barry Helfand, husband of Terry, of Burton Donald Shapiro, brother of Al, of Carol Tannenbaum, mother of David, Don Pollock, husband of Francis Pollock. We remember the yortzites, the anniversaries of the deaths of Anna Enck, Selwyn Berg, Esther Vespris, Alice Blumenfeld, Stanley Brody, Morton S. Kaloff, Blanche Chavin, Sylvia Sintz, Lester Cook, Sarah Ferguson, Jack Ferguson, Gloria Friedlander, Stephen Gerard, Martin Greenstein, Howard Herman, Rochella R. Horwitz, Phyllis Kessler, Richard Levitt, Tusup Lee, Sonia Liggett, Jesse Litton, Harold Minovitz, Nina Marecki, Bernice Pollock, Catherine Pramel, Bertha Title, Barbara Toole. If you're remembering somebody on the Shabbat, would like to add their name to those that I've mentioned or restate a name I've mentioned, please feel free to do so as I come by your row.
Eric Gretzinger.
If you're in a time of mourning or observing a yortzeit on the Shabbat, I invite you to rise. I invite the rest of the congregation, it's your custom, to rise and embrace in support of those who mourn. Kaddish, it's on 294. Yitgadal v'yitgadash me'rabah, Bialma divrach hirute v'yamlich malchute, B'chayachon v'yom echon, U'chaye d'chol Beit Yisrael, Pagala uvizman kariv imru amen. Yehi shmei rabba mevorach leolam olamei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh. V'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal. Shmei dukudusha brichu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata. Tushbechata v'nechamata. Damiram bi'alma v'imru amen. Yehi shlama rabba min shmaya. V'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. V'imru amen. Oseh shalom bimromav. Hu yaseh shalom. Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Ve'al kol yoshvei tevel. V'imru amen. Zichronam livracha. May their memories be for a blessing. We'll close with our usual, with Biyado, bottom of 321.
Be'ado av kidruchi, ve'en ishan ve'ahira, ve'imruchi geviati, Adonai li v'lo ira, ve'imruchi geviati, Adonai li v'lo ira. My soul I give to you, my spirit in your care. Draw me near, I shall not fear. Hold me in your hand. Draw me near, I shall not fear. Safely in your hand.
My soul I give to you, my spirit in your care. Draw me near, I shall not fear. Hold me in your hand. Draw me near, I shall not fear. Safely in your hand. Biyado afibruchi. Biyado afibruchi.
My spirit in your hand. Draw me near, I shall not fear.
Adonai
in
v'lo
your
ira.
Draw me
Ve'imruchi
near, I shall not
geviati.
fear.
Adonai v'lo ira. For those who joined us online, thank you for being with us. Shabbat Shalom and Chag Sameach. Have a happy Passover for all of you in the sanctuary. Please join us in the social hall for Kiddush, Motzi, refreshments. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. See you at 10 a.m. Sunday. Except for Lana, she'll be sleeping.